I need someone to show me my place in all this.
In my favorite scene in Star Wars The Last Jedi, one character tells another character that they should let it all die. The Sith, the Jedi, the Empire, the Rebellion, everything. The movie doesn't fully follow through on that idea. Everything doesn't literally die. But it does clear the way for something that feels kind of weirdly new for Star Wars, and it's exciting. I will tell you all about it, but first, please subscribe to Universe for more Star Wars stuff, more stuff on all the movies and TV and entertainment that you love. Now let's get into it. So what I really loved about this movie is that it subverts a lot of tropes of what you expect to be in a Star Wars movie. The Force Awakens, I thought, bent over backward a little bit to be more like A New Hope, and I was afraid this movie would do the same thing with The Empire Strikes Back, but it doesn't. Everything you think is gonna happen either doesn't happen or it happens differently, and it's honestly super, super refreshing. That has some negative consequences as well, though. Yes, it's exciting for the plot to feel unpredictable, but when there's entire storylines from one movie ago in The Force Awakens that are now just gone, totally axed, with no payoff, it starts to feel a little bit sloppy. After The Force Awakens, the path of this trilogy felt a little bit too familiar. Now it feels like it might go anywhere, and despite my complaints, I think that's overall a good thing. The Last Jedi picks up more or less where The Force Awakens left off. So Rey is off in some distant corner of the galaxy, trying to get Luke Skywalker to join General Leia's resistance. And we get to spend a lot more time with all these characters because it's no longer the first movie in a trilogy and we don't have to spend so much time establishing them. Poe, Finn, Rey and Luke, Leia, Kylo Ren, General Hux, even Supreme Leader Snoke, who actually physically appears in this movie. Although Gwendolyn Christie, who plays Captain Phasma, allegedly, still doesn't. What the fuck is up with that? They could have put anyone in that suit. It's crazy. At least BB-8 is still great. So there are three main new characters. Kelly Marie Tran plays Rose Tico, who is like a resistance mechanic or something, and she goes off on this side quest with Finn that kinda winds up being pointless. But I like her a lot. She is intensely likable. Benicio del Toro plays a character who's, I'm not sure they even say his name in the movie, to be honest, but he's kind of like a roguish kind of thief guy who's like, I think his purpose is to subvert the Han Solo trope because he kind of toes the line between good and evil and kind of embodies this theme of it's not as simple as good versus evil. There's people all kind of shit, you'll see it. Finally, there is Jurassic Park's Laura Dern as Vice Admiral Holdo, or as I like to call her, Vice Admiral Completely F***ing Pointless. Seriously, every scene she's in could have literally just been a different character, like an existing character, maybe one we already know and like, maybe Leia Organa, and it would have been better. Probably the worst thing about this movie is how bloated it starts to feel around the middle. Not only are there a lot of unnecessary side plots that don't really amount to anything, but the entire main conflict is like this extended standoff that's like a chase scene in a straight line for an hour and a half where we're just waiting for one side to run out of fuel, and it is unbelievably boring. Luckily, it is far from all bad. The Last Jedi is really beautiful, it's funny in all the right places, it's super, super emotional, especially for Star Wars fans, and the Porgs are not terrible. I thought I was gonna hate the Porgs. If you thought you were gonna hate the Porgs, you might be pleasantly surprised. They're actually pretty cute. There are two main things that I really love about this movie. The first is how it handles Luke and Leia, which is important. Both the characters and the actors have been on such crazy journeys, and this movie feels like real payoff in a way that I think The Force Awakens didn't really for Han Solo. It doesn't feel like fan service though. Luke's storyline has maybe the most surprises of any storyline in the movie, and there's some genuinely shocking moments and real character growth, which feels kind of amazing for characters that are like 100 years old. It has been really fun and emotional across these two movies, looking toward the past and remembering all these great things about these movies that we love. But I always thought that the new trilogy was gonna live or die by what it added and not what it rehashed from the past. And I think with this movie, we're finally gonna be able to let the past die and move beyond it to something that might actually feel truly new. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all the good YouTube-y things. You can follow me on Twitter @RogueCheddar, where you can tell me to go myself if you actually really loved Vice Admiral Holdo and thought that she was a great character who definitely served a purpose in this movie. Bye.